Welcome to Politics Done Right on KPFT. I am your host, Egberto Williams. This is the progressive program that will take the mystery out of politics. This is the program that will encourage you to make sure government becomes we the people. Whether you are liberal, conservative, or otherwise, you get to air your point of view. Give me a call at 713-526-5738. That is 713-526-KPFT. Remember, you can also send me a tweet to EGBERTOWILLIES. That is at Egberto Williams. Let us engage. It is politics done right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, folks, welcome to one more edition of Politics Done Right. I'm Egberto Williams, your host. Thank you so kindly for being a part of the show. We are going to have a great show for you today. You know, today we have to send out our good get well wishes to our one and only Pantheon Don. Don, we hope that you're listening and we hope that you get better. You know, Don is our producer, program director extraordinaire. But you know what? At KPFT, we have wonderful and great volunteers. And Nabu Abraham is here. How you doing, Nabu?
I'm good, man. I'm happy to be on the show. Politics Done Right is one of my favorite shows on KPFT. And yeah, man, you know, I've said this before. This is definitely us being on the air together. It shows how diverse 419 Lovett Boulevard is. And we are in the middle of Fund Drive, 713-526-5738.
Look, thank you very much for taking up the slack, Nabu. I mean, we needed that because, again, you know, folks have been working hard. You've been working your you-know-what off for the last 3 weeks of this Fund Drive. I mean, you are here from early morning till night. Same thing with Don. Same thing with Patrick. Folks, we have great volunteers here. We are going to have a great show for you today. It's going to be an interesting blog of the week, Nabu, that I'm going to be talking about. But I want everybody to listen to the blog because it's important. Because progressives, this is a progressive place. You know that. KPFT 90.1 FM is the only progressive place you've got in the whole of Southeast Texas, all the way from Beaumont down to Houston, north to Livingston. Folks, this is your progressive bastion. And you know what's the greatest thing about it? Because we're on Facebook Live, because we're in Blog Talk Radio and all these other avenues, guess what, Nabu? We are all over the confounded country with our message.
Wow.
So, I mean, you know, KPFT, that little community station with a 100,000 watt transmitter, is all over the country because it has a reach of over that 100,000 watts. Folks, we want you to call 713-526-5738 and make sure to be a part of this family. And our blog of the week is going to kind of tell you why we think you need to be a part of the family. For those that are listening on Facebook Live, please, folks, remember to share these programs right away. The way these algorithms work these days, they need you to show interest rather quickly. You know, the American attention span is what, Nabu? What's happening to the American attention span?
You know, it's getting shorter and shorter. I mean, that could be there could be a lot of reasons for that. I mean, after all, we do carry a computer in our pockets every day, so we're able to access, you know, our own opinions at any time we want and upload it to the world, you know, for them to hear.
Absolutely so. Absolutely so. Folks, but today's program, the name of the program today is Only One Solution for the Progressive Wing of the Party to Ascend. And before I get started, is Stu in that Pledge Central yet?
Yep.
I just want to introduce Stu. Stu is our pitcher for the day, okay? Stu is the one who's going to give you all those nice words and tell you what we have to offer. Talk to me, Stu.
Well, I'll tell you what, we have 27 hours to meet the overall goal on this pledge drive. Ends at 6 tomorrow evening. And so that puts up quite a challenge. We only need $46,000 to make our goal. And we could probably do that on your show alone.
You know what?
You have the richest donors of any show on KPFT.
Wow, I wish I would love to believe that, but
the challenge is on.
The challenge is on for all my rich donors in Kingwood, for all my rich donors in the Woodlands, for all my rich donors all around town. I need you to call in and don't make Stu a liar now. 713-526-5738. But look, let's get to the program. I want you to start calling now during my intro of the program. Then I want you all to listen to the blog of the week because it is important. And after the blog of the week, I want those phones to blow up. We need those phones to blow up because this message is going to tell you why those phones need to blow up. So let's get started, folks. Anyway, the title of the show today, only one solution for the progressive wing of the party to ascend. Subtitle, the progressive wing of the Democratic Party must do what it takes. Anyhow, today I have a special message for progressives. Are we really to ascend as the permanent voice of the masses? It is clear that in principle, they are all with us. They know that it is our policies that will save us all from an extractive and corrosive plutocracy that is progressively leaving the masses destitute, even as they work more, even as they're working harder. Those whose lives are okay right now. You know, there are a lot of people, Nabu, a lot of people right now, they're doing just fine.
Oh, yeah.
So they think things are okay. It is fine. They don't understand the corrosive nature of the plutocracy is only for a very few. And eventually when they extract from everybody else, who else are they coming to extract from then?
I mean, it's going to be a well-run dry.
Exactly right. Exactly right. So therefore, you see, America has become a country where people suffer in silence. And I can tell you, I live in Kingwood, Texas, right? Kingwood is an affluent community, you would think. You notice I prepositioned that immediately.
Yeah, you did.
You would think. What is happening out there is everybody living up to the means of everybody else as they deplete themselves. And this is not, I'm just using that because I live there. Sure. But this is Woodlands. This is all these other areas. Everybody think they have something that they have to keep up, a vision, right? And what do? The reality isn't there, right? So they are suffering in silence. So what I say here is I say, you see, America has become a country where people suffer in silence. Suffering, not doing well is okay. So we all live in our fictional bubbles where we create our false images on social media as we live vicariously through the lives of others. Now, imagine if we could break through and really let every American know we are all in the same sinking boat. Some may be on higher decks, but the ship, albeit, is still sinking, baby. And we all will eventually end up underwater. Progressives must support the structures and candidates to mitigate that eventuality. Repeating, progressives must support the structures and candidates to mitigate that eventuality. You see, folks, you don't have to suffer in silence, man. You know, I mean, some of us don't mind saying, hey, things aren't all that great right now. You know what I mean? It's not all that great, but we have been so programmed, social media and all this stuff try to keep you. You have to keep up with the Joneses, man. You have to make that fictional belief that things are okay. Folks, it is okay, man. The only time we can make progress is when we open up. That's when we make progress. Anyhow, folks, we are in Fund Drive at KPFT, so please visit kpft.org and support Politics Done Right on the Pacifica Network station KPFT 90.1 FM. Again, you can go to kpft.org and donate right now. Alternatively, call 713-526-5738 and make a pledge. There you become a part of the family. Look, I've got a big goal. These folks want me to raise $900, but you know what? I want to raise 10 times that. So help me out here. I have a generous donor who promised that if I get 6 new users, she'll give $100. And if I have 12 users, 12 new members, she'll give $200. So if you've never given to KPFT,
now's the time.
Now is the time. I want you to call after we do these blog of the week. Call and say, hey, I am a new user. I'm in a new member, and I'm working towards getting those 12 people so that Politics Done Right can get that. Anyhow, continuing. If I reach these assigned goals, you know what it means? It means that we are that much closer to that goal that Stu was talking about. We have 27 hours to raise. Anyway, continuing. Before I get to the program, I want to remind all our listeners that KPFT is a bastion of intelligent voices and programs. As a political activist myself, my favorites are, and unfortunately, I don't have Don for the playback. So I'm going to have to do the foreground and the playback. That's okay. Think Wing Radio with Mike Honig on Mondays at 9 p.m. Part of the Sun Gridlock with Jeff Berg on Fridays at 3 p.m. Open Journal with Dwayne and Marlo, Dwayne and Company on Mondays at 6 p.m. Jazz Latino Afro-Cuban Latin Jazz at its best, hosted by Juan Flores on Tuesdays at 12 noon. And of course, our own Don, who isn't here today to do the show with me. The Human Condition at 3 p.m., followed by the Free Minstrel Show with Don and Dwayne at 4 p.m. on Fridays on the KPFT HD2 side.
Jazz Latino is one of my favorite shows.
Oh, Jazz Latino is great. Juan Flores is like the bomb.
Killer.
And you know what? You listen to Juan Flores, you don't know that he knows all those stars. Latino jazz, kind of jazz. And he's been out there on the road with these guys.
Yeah,
he knows these guys, you know. Anyhow, folks, check out our full schedule at kpft.org, where you can find programming from music to politics to medicine to the eclectic. KPFT is a listener-supported public community radio station. So please remember that if you like what you hear, visit kpft.org and ensure we remain a strong, valuable community radio station that provides news, programming, and information not influenced by whom? You don't remember that one either?
The corporatocracy.
Here we go, my brother.
See, you didn't think I listened.
All right.
You were testing me.
I was testing you, man.
There's no way he listens. He's just telling me this.
I was saying, he would just wanted me to feel good.
No,
one of his best
and I even knew some of the programs that you repeat.
Okay.
Think Wing Radio. Okay. So next time I'll be prepared.
Okay, I like that. Thank you, my brother. Okay, but guess what, Nabu? Guess what time it is?
What's up?
Guess what time it is, brother?
What time is it?
You know what time it is.
Is it time for the blog of the week?
You know that, my brother.
All right, let's get into it.
It's time for the weekly blog post.
Está bien, mis hermanos, the blog of the week. Todos ustedes son mis huéspedes ahora y quiero que llaman más tarde. All of you guys are my official guests, and I want you to call later on. The antidote to establishment Democrats is progressive financial support. And before I go to the blog of the week, I want to remind folks, call 713-526-5738 and make a pledge, become a part of the family. And we want new members as well, because we have donations that are going to come in if new members come in. But I had a talk with David outside, and we were talking about why it is that progressives, we have a hard time getting funding from progressives while the other side doesn't have it. I want you to listen to the blog, and then I'm going to go into that in a little bit more detail and why Bernie was a difference than anything else as far as fundraising to get something done via progressives. Here it goes. Republicans and conservatives have a talking point that is neither true in reality or practice. They love to define progressives as those people seeking handouts or the spending of other people's money. Well, it's not a talking point most of the times, but it is true when it comes to supporting those who are promoting the progressive mantra. Here is a reality we must work on, my good, dear progressives. Here it goes. Last week, I had two devoted conservative Republicans on my Politics Done Right program. They were a lovely couple and contributed to the show without hesitation. I had two Republicans sitting in this chair right here, Nabu, and they said they were going to be contributing to Politics Done Right, liberal, progressive, very liberal, progressive newscast. And they said they urged other progressive to support it. They weren't saying that they said they're doing the same for their own conservative agenda, but they said they want that discussion, which is what we started. That's why I brought them in, because we started this stuff of having Democrats and Republicans talk together and that sort of thing.
That's the way most news talk shows should go.
Exactly. So I brought these two conservatives in, and they said, you know what? I want you to survive. I want your liberal agenda to have a hearing as well as my conservative agenda. And they said, if this show would put a very liberal show would put two conservatives on, then we must be talking stuff of substance. We're not just talking.
Absolutely.
But anyhow, folks, they were a lovely couple and they contributed to the show. I had met them 2 days prior at a deliberative dialogue panel organized by Dr. John Theis, the director of civic engagement at Lone Star College, Kingwood. We had 10 Democrats and 10 Republicans come together in the conservative town, in our conservative town, to discuss issues that both divide and unite us. There was much to take away from the panel. What I found most intriguing was the passion on the right, the conservative Republican side, to support their cause financially. Everybody's talking about the passion being on the left. I mean, yes, the passion is currently on the left, but there is a fixed passion on the right that will never, that right now we are not matching. And the matching that they have is going to be made clear as I continue. Most Republicans and Democrats on the panel are politically engaged. At the same time, these are everyday Americans. A woman told me she had a $5,000 morning. I asked her, what do you mean? She said she spent her time, this is one of the panelists, she spent her time in the morning making calls, raising money for the Republican cause. She made it clear they will do all they can to minimize their losses. Her husband then came to me and said, hey, but did she tell you how much she raised for Republican candidate X? I'm not going to mention the candidate X.
Sure.
He asked, and then I said, how much? He said, $40,000.
Wow.
You're kidding me? Stu just said that we are trying to make $46,000 in the next 27 hours. These folks do this like that.
Wow.
Okay, the passion. And this is not $1,000 and $4,000 gifts. These are 100 here, 50 here, 75 here, 150, 200 here.
But just consistent.
Consistent. That's passion, right? And, you know, my jaw dropped. This is a woman in our neighborhood of many working their butts off to fundraise for candidates and organizations that support their conservative cause. This is just the grassroots wing of the conservative machine. This does not include the multi-billionaire Koch brothers and the Mercer family and the cadre of conservatives that are the Republican politicians' puppet masters. I spoke to an internet broadcaster in the mix. It was clear he was well funded from sources cloaked as advertisers. So even though you are on Facebook and you see some of their programs, their internet programs or whatever, very well funded.
They are.
Very well funded. So progressives complain a lot about the corporate Democrat, the establishment Democrat. They say these guys are just as bad as the establishment Republicans. After all, they serve the same masters. But could it be true? Could it be true that they, the corporate Democrats, have no choice? Could it be true that the corporate Democrat have no choice at this current time? Let me tell you. America is a big country with huge diversities even within parties. As many such voices are not only needed, but let me repeat that. As many such voices are not only needed, but many voices must be supported. When people believe they have a voice, they participate, they engage. The Republican Party, a party with policies most Americans don't particularly like, are much more successful as a political entity. Even with the expected blue wave, it is clear they will maintain more overall power than Democrats. Let's be clear. I want to kind of expand on that. Even if Democrats were to take over the Congress, meaning the Senate and the House, the judiciary, meaning the Supreme Court,
right,
is still held by Republican-leaning judges.
Yeah.
And the executive is still held by Republicans, El Señor Trump.
That's right.
And the other thing that a lot of people don't take into account is it is unlikely that we will win most state legislatures around the country or most governorships around the country. So the country will still be in the grasp, no matter how bad you think things are, in the grasp of republicanism. So therefore, we have to be smart in the way we do things. So continuing with the blog, even with the expected blue wave, it is clear they will maintain more overall power than Democrats. They've nurtured every wing of their party and ensured that it is well funded either by their grassroots or the corporatocracy. And how do they do that? It is easy to say that Republicans have more money. In the aggregate, that ain't true. That is not true at all. The difference is they have the media penetration that allows them to leverage contributions from the poor, the middle class, and the rich. They have the evangelicals who are money machines that use devotion to God to pilfer the poor and the middle class, even as the rich use them as tax shelters. You see, I mean, they're pulling from both ends. Last week I told you guys about the tax cuts, how they gained 3 tax breaks with that one tax cut scam.
Oh, yeah.
Three tax breaks with that one tax cut. They do the same with the evangelicals. The evangelicals are used, the poor are given, to the party. The middle class giving to the party. And the rich, well, yeah, they give to the party, but you know what? They get the most out of the party.
Mm-hmm.
Things go their way all of the times, right? They have the evangelicals who are the money machines, folks. Then there are the different organizations like the Chamber of Commerce and other military organizations who believe conservative contributions is existential. To them, it is existential that you have these contributions. They believe that. So what do? They do it. Now, those of us on the left have been unsuccessful in making that existential case. Which comes first, the chicken or the egg? Many progressives claim they do not support their organizations because ultimately they are on the take to the Democratic establishment, who is a subsidiary of the corporatocracy. So you get that divide, that chain. The chain is, oh, you need an excuse, and this is what David and I was talking about in the green room. You need that for progressive. Everybody, progressive, liberal, conservative, or whatever. Nobody wants to part with their money, even if it's a gift to candidates, even if it's a gift to a radio station. Even they don't want to part with their money, and they'll first find every excuse not to do it until there are no excuses. They will find everybody. Most people find every excuse not to give. There was a woman on after I posted this article. The first article said, the first comment on the article was from a woman who said, I don't give to the party because they are owned by the corporations. You know, that's the first order of business. And then I said, there's Daily Kos, there is Op-Ed News, there is the Democratic Underground. There are all these guys that are detached from that are trying to move forward. There's KPFT 90.1 FM.
Right. That's right.
That is detached from these corporate systems. But you have to make yourself known to be detached and not serving that same master, so that excuse go away. So David, what I was telling David is that is what Bernie Sanders did, and that's why Bernie Sanders has been the sole successful progressive fundraiser to move a cause forward, because he was successfully able to detach himself, because everybody knows him as somebody who knows and admits that the corporatocracy is corrosive. So I mean, we have to remember that including KPFT, we have to remember that. How do we differentiate ourselves to show folks, no, this is different? So many progressives claim they do not support the organizations because ultimately they are on the take to the Democratic establishment, who is a subsidiary of the corporatocracy. They are partially correct, but the only way to change that is to show that if the alliance to the corporatocracy is dropped, that viability is maintained from millions of progressive donors. From millions of progressive, that's the only way. It's the chicken or the egg. They're not going to give up the corporatocracy if they don't have any way to continue their campaigns. If the liberals and the progressives don't support the source, the resources, the TV stations, the radio stations, and all these things necessary to pull them from the reins of the car, it's the chicken or the eggs.
It's a catch-22.
It's a catch-22. So the masses have to really show, like they did with Bernie Sanders, that they're willing to support these stations. They're willing to support these progressive candidates, as they actually did some of that in Texas over the last election. Anyhow, Bernie Sanders proved that was possible with a message that resonated as real, because it was real to poor and middle class America. But Bernie did not win, and progressives have reverted to form. And what is that form? Find every excuse why it is that you won't give a few pennies to support the progressive movement. That is what we have to break. That is what we have to break. But Bernie Sanders didn't win, and progressives have reverted to form. If progressives are to maintain a credible and successful movement, they must engage and provide a narrative that gives poor and middle class a reason to support not only candidates, but the resources their candidates need to get their message to larger audiences. What that means, my dear friends, is the support of radio stations like KPFT. What that means, my friend, is the support of rags like Daily Kos, even my site, egbertowillies.com. What these things mean is that unless you are supporting these avenues that promote these progressive values, that also enlighten other people and bring other people in, the corporatocracy wins. Because those people who want, even those who want to be progressives, that need to find a way to get their message in Timbuktu, that need to get their message over a big cross-section of America, you can be as altruistic as you want. If you can't get your message across, nobody knows who the hell you are. You can't. So, folks, it's a chicken or the egg. It's a chicken or the egg. The chicken or the egg. I'm saying it's going to have to be the egg, you. Anyhow, that means supporting every progressive website, progressive online program, progressive on-air program that are genuinely, and notice what I'm saying, genuinely working for the cause. There's a whole lot of posers out there, and I could name you posers right now, but I'm not going to do it. But there are a lot of posers as websites out there that are nothing but capitalist rags, that are trying to bleed progressives on their realities. You have to be also very picking in the way that you're looking at the sites that you're going to support. In other words, you're not supporting sites that are there that say, oh, we're going to put out this progressive stuff just for the heck of, there's some progressive. You got to do your research as well and make sure that you're supporting those folks that are in the cause. And you know how you figure that out? Look at what they're doing. Are they just a rag, or you see the people on that site out there in the field doing their thing? Or you see them doing some activism? Do you see them not only on a rag, but you see them on a radio show, you see them on an online show, you see them doing all the... That is how you determine if it is real. The KPFT, brother, the KPFT is out there. We are everywhere. We'll be in D.C. at the Guns March.
That's right.
We are everywhere.
That's right.
We are everywhere. So anyhow, folks, look, that means supporting every progressive website, progressive online program, progressive on-air program that are genuinely working for the cause. Progressives, do you want to get rid of the establishment Democrat moniker? We must start by supporting the resources that will give at least resources that will give real progressive exposure. These aren't the mainstream media and established news sites. They ignore all but candidates sanctioned by the corporatocracy. Ask Bernie if you doubt that. It is in our hands. We either support and encourage others to support progressive resources, or we maintain the status quo that is driving us all into indentured servitude. And with that, folks, that's the blog of the week. With that, folks, that is what we need. This is where we need to hear from you. This is where we need to hear you say, you are going to support progressivism. You are going to support the sources that are going to help grow our movement. You are going to support what is needed for us to not only take 2018 into the right place, but ensure that 2018 is in the right place. And I'm not talking about for Democrats. I'm talking about for progressive values that you are standing up for. 713-526-5738. I beg you again, 713-526-5738. Be a part of making things better for us all. Stu, are you there?
Yes.
Talk to me.
We have 27 hours to meet our overall goal. We're still waiting for our first call to prime the pump for one of the only and best progressive political programs in the entire country. And I'm talking about the one you're listening to right now. And we need to, we're not going to be able to stay on the air much longer if we don't get some pledges coming in.
Folks, we need that call now. I told you I was going to read that blog the week about progressive values and what we do, etc. We need to get 6 or 12 new members so that we can also leverage that $200 that a wonderful person has offered. So I'm asking you to give us a call at 713-526-5738. I know
we do have one person to thank. Anonymous out in Pearland decided to make an online pledge. And they came in at the $60 level. So you can definitely go online, kpft.org.
Thank you so kindly for that first donation, but look, there are a lot of people in Pledge Central right now waiting for your calls. We need you to give us a call at 713-526-5738. I told you Politics Done Right wasn't going to spend the entire time pitching, and what we did so far is we gave you that first half hour of content. That first half hour of content, that first half hour on progressive issues. So what we'd like to ask you now, folks, is give us a call, 713-526-5738. I don't hear those phones ringing.
I see David's got a call right now, and he's hopefully taking a pledge. Hopefully that's not an informational call.
And we need you to give us some calls right now, 713. I hope you listened to the blog of the week, because that was an important blog. I mean, that was a blog where I tried to explain to folks the problems that the progressive resources have, from progressive stations like KPFT to progressive rags like, let's say, the Daily Kos or the Talking Points Memo or all these other rags. Right now, if you go to any of these websites, there's this big placard up. In fact, I think I saw it this morning on Talking Point Memos that said, to some extent, they are limiting their search on Google is limiting the search on all these progressive sites. So therefore, their revenues have fallen dramatically, and they're looking for subscriptions. The reason why this is happening, folks, is here's the deal: you have power. The American people have power, and power realized is dangerous. Right now they have abstract power. They have unrealized power. It's like having, it's like when you own a stock. And the market value of that stock goes up or down. That is not real. That's not a realized gain or a realized loss. But when you put that stock into action, when you sell that stock to really get your money's worth on that stock, that determines where you are. And what I'm saying is Americans have appreciating stock if they would use it. And when they use it, that is when they take control. And what's happening right now is the prevention of the use of that. And how do you mitigate that? You screw up with the search engines, you screw up with the Facebook algorithms, so that progressive things that threaten the corporatocracy doesn't get aired.
The gatekeepers.
The gatekeepers. And the only way to get around the gatekeepers, or whenever we can sneak around them, KPFT can sneak around them because you are listening in your car right now. You're listening at home right now. You're listening online right now. You're hearing this, so you can make a difference. 713-526-5738. I'm way behind because we didn't start pitching. We just started asking you now to call in. So give us a call at 713-526-5738. I have to raise $900 minimum in the next 26 minutes. So give us a call, 713-526-5738. Anybody on the phone yet, or?
We still got one pledge on.
We want to thank Anonymous down in Pearland for doing an on the line pledge.
Thank you, Anonymous.
And we're taking a pledge right now on the phone.
Excellent. Thank you so kindly, folks. Look, one pledge on the phone is not near enough. If you've never pledged before, please give us a call. We need 6 new pledges to leverage $100. We need 12 new pledges to leverage $200. That is what we've been offered. Egberto, get 6 new people who've never donated, and what we'll do is we'll leverage that with $100. So please, if you've never donated, blow up these phones now. You've been listening for a long time. You know how I know we have so many listeners? Because I get the emails, and not only I get the emails, even on the when you look at Facebook Live, you can see how many people scanned your stuff and so forth. So I mean, we know that you're out there. What we're asking you to do now, though, is be a part of it, and it doesn't take much. I mean, we have membership that is $3 a month or something like that.
If you really break it down, you can do it a $120 pledge, and really just do it in installments. So you could do like $6 a month. You could do if you want to do a $240 pledge, you can do $10 a month. However you want to break it up, will definitely go towards keeping the lights on and keeping the unbiased news on 419 Lovett Boulevard and out into the airwaves out there. We broadcast all the way from Huntsville down to Galveston, and we're able to reach just a whole slew of people. So I know there's a lot of people out there listening. They say about 6% of the folks listening actually donate. 6%. So, 94% of you guys just take in what is broadcasted, and don't be that 94%. If you've never donated, give us a call, 713-526-5738. 5738. 713-JAM KPFT.
You know, and why it's very important right now as well is because, again, you know, we know that the country is in trouble right now. We know that we have some people controlling this country that shouldn't be controlling this country. But we also know that there is a whole lot of deception out there, Nabu, a whole lot of deception. And the only way to unclutter the deception is to have these progressive programs that are there to do exactly that. And we do that. In my program yesterday, we discussed Toys R Us. The mainstream media has a story about Toys R Us. We told the facts about Toys R Us yesterday. That shows people why it is that they have to do certain things. 713-526-5738. Folks, please give us a call. We need your support. 713-526-5738. Any calls coming in? Come on, folks.
Pledge Central. How we doing out there? I think that they got a little tied up, but you know, you can also walk in 419 Lovett Boulevard if you're in you know, the Montrose area, or hey, if you're online, go ahead and go to www.kpft.org. We'll take fantastic plastic. We'll take your cold green cash. If you got Bitcoin, we'll figure a way to get that as well. You know, whatever works, because you know, it all goes to, you know, this unique programming. Again, I'm actually a journalist. You know, I'm a journalism major, and I can honestly say that this is one of the few stations where you hear unbiased news. The news isn't directed towards making ratings, and you can definitely see a difference in the news now than the news that came on 30, 40 years ago.
Absolutely so, folks. We need you to give a call, 713-526-5738. That is imperative. Now, again, like I mentioned before, what we do here is, and look, you're not, there are a lot of times I watch the news, right? And I key some of my subjects off of the news. Why? Because the news usually give a particular spin to a story.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like they did with the Toys R Us story, it was like, wow, company, bad management dies. But they forgot to tell you that it was really rated. They forgot to tell you that we have structures in this country designed to use the American population as pawns. In other words, you know, there's a person that folks call 713-526-5738. 713-526-5738. Well, quick story. There's a guy who argued with me on the post yesterday, saying, don't talk about things you don't know about. Are you an MBA? Are you a business? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm an engineer. But you know what? I read. You read,
Sure.
Nabu.
Yeah,
all of us
absolutely.
read, and we understand economics is not a difficult subject.
Right.
It's a very easy subject, actually, than most.
Yeah.
And
Also, I mean, I just don't think that's a requirement to I think anyone can talk about anything they want. And especially if they're interested in it. I mean, granted, I definitely want facts behind when somebody brings up a topic, but I mean, there's a lot of people who talk about climate change that aren't scientists.
Exactly.
So,
I mean, but the thing about it is, the thing about it is, I had the facts right, you know. So that this guy was, I mean, I think he worked for or has a firm similar to Bain's Capital. So
oh, wow.
it really hit him. You know, he said, I was a former dean, and I'm like, okay, you know, it doesn't impress me. I mean, my garbage man who reads a book impresses me.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That's who impresses me. 713-526-5738. But anyhow, we showed that a lot of the stories that you get aren't right. And unless we are able to break it down that way, that is why progressives don't move forward, because, you know, the stories that get out there are easily.
Thank you for that call.
Thank you for that call. Those stories that get out there, Nabu, are easily twisted to make sure that those in power, those that are extracting from you, don't lose that power that they have to do that. And, you know, a lot of people think, oh, you're being conspiratorial and all. No, it's not. It's not. Just look at reality. Look at your bank book. Look at the average bank book of the American citizen over time. You know, I mean, a lot of people keep saying, oh, you're over dramatizing things. You're doing this, you're doing that. No, I'm not. Just look at the average wage of the American citizen. Look at what they're doing, how they're doing. Do we have anything from Pledge Central?
Yes, we do. We have somebody on the phone right now. We just had a pledge come in. We want to thank Juan in Sureland for a very generous contribution. He took you up on your book, As I See It.
Thank you, Juan.
And we've got, hang on just a minute, we have Michael from Brooklyn, New York.
Thank you, Michael.
Oh, nice.
He says, why not Facebook post when no one calls in?
Oh, that's, I tell you something. The problem that I have is jump into the Facebook panel right now. But I tell you what, if you have questions, put it in there. And I tell you what, I will definitely be answering them when I'm offline. I promise you that. I've told you that, told you guys that all the time. You guys own this show. And as owners of the show, I give you the respect of owning the show, meaning everything you ask is answered. Sometimes not in real time, but it's answered. So thank you, Brooklyn, so kindly for making that contribution. And please, folks from other states, go ahead and remember, we are a national program. So it makes sense to support us as well. You're progressive, support us as well, because our tenets apply throughout the country. Alaska, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, Texas, California, North Dakota, New York, everywhere, folks. 713-526-5738.
Got about 20 minutes to go, and we definitely want to hit our goal. Definitely a big thank you for those who've already made their pledges. But again, however you want to do it, if you want to walk in 419 Levitt Boulevard, give us a call, 713-526-5738, or www.kpft.org.
We need you. kpft.org, folks, if you want to do this online, but we'd like to hear those phones ringing again. 713-526-5738. Again, that is 713-526-5738. Look, the book that I wrote called As I See It, Class Warfare, the Only Resort to Right-Wing Doom. I wrote that book.
Thank you for that call.
Thank you for that call. I wrote that book in 2 months. I sat down in Starbucks. It was during all the Obamacare things or whatever. And, I got pissed, and I said, why aren't these people saying this? Why aren't they telling Americans this? Why aren't they telling Americans that? And I said, what the hell can I do? Then I said, you know what? I'll write a book. So I sat down in Starbucks for 2 months.
Wow.
2 months. I ran my software business at the same time. In the afternoons, I went in there and I started writing, doing my research and writing all this stuff up. When it was done, went ahead and distributed. Had friends who had house parties for the book. A lot of organizations had house parties for the book. And guess what happened afterwards? On Amazon, it just took off. So, I mean, here's the deal, folks. We have an offer for that book. It's a contribution. You get this is like a thank you. Thank you gift. Yeah, thank you gift. Get the book, because what it does is it explains the entire American economic system and why the way things run right now is problematic. And it does it in a manner that you can understand, that all of us can understand. In other words, it explains things from concepts from patents all the way down, and it use the farmers as example. It shows you stuff that a lot of folks don't think about, and because they don't think about it, the plutocracy can fool them into making the wrong choices, into voting incorrectly. So that book gives you a hell of a lot of talking points as well that you can use. 713-526-5738. By the time you're done with that book, I guarantee you one thing: you're going to know just about everything to know about the economy, from credit default swaps. Those things that they talk about, those titans of finance that they make you believe that what they're doing is really important. It isn't. What you do is important. And what we have to do is make all you guys, the middle class, the progressives, realize that you are the ones who really are the ones who make this economy. And that is what that book also proves in there. 713.
Ask,
yes, sir.
How did you get involved in KPFT? What's your background on how you landed a show?
I've always been a political junkie, okay? And I came and I was actually working under Mike Honig. I did the board for Mike Honig. Okay. But that was sort of a stepping stone until a program spot opened up that I could use, because I've always been putting in proposals for a program. I did another program called Liberal. This one is called Politics Done Right. I had one called Liberal Politics Done Right. That was an internet show about 5 years before this. So,
And I mean, that's the amazing thing about, community radio, is that you were able to go from helping another show to having your own show.
Absolutely.
And viewing your points that you wanted to put out there. I mean, it's an amazing concept.
You got to be humble and you have to pay your dues. Absolutely. That's what I say, and you know what? I'm a KPFT buff. If KPFT says you need something and I can do it, I'm going to do it. It's
713-526-5738. 713-JAM-KPFT.
Folks, we need those phones ringing. Any phones on?
We got one caller on the line right now. Definitely have some more volunteers out there ready to take your call. Jack's out there, and he's ready to take your call. 713-526-5738, 713-JAM KPFT.
We only have about 15 minutes to get, or 14 minutes to get your calls in, folks. 713-526-5738. We need 6 new users, or 6 new members, or else we don't get that $100. We need 12 new members, or else we don't get that $200.
We just got one all the way from Chapin, South Carolina.
Thank you so kindly.
Absolutely. We want to thank Ferry.
Thank you, Ferry.
Chapin, South Carolina. Very generous pledge. And he's a new member.
Thank you so kindly, my friend. Let's get those numbers for the new members. Thank you so kindly from South Carolina. I know everything that has been occurring with you guys and the Affordable Care Act. I tell you something.
You're on top of it.
Oh, I love, you see, South Carolina, we did a lot of work there on the Affordable Care Act, trying to get them to pass it, because a lot of people in South Carolina needs it. Their governor, what's her name? She's now the Secretary of State.
Nikki Haley.
Nikki Haley. It's amazing how these people can be so cruel to their own.
You know she's Indian?
Yes, I do know that.
That's the crazy part as well. A lot of people don't know.
Yes.
I had to tell some Indian brothers, like, hey, she's Indian.
Yes,
she's not what you think she is.
I know. Folks, 713-526-5738, 713-526. As you can see, our out-of-state guys are coming through for us. We need our in-state folks as well. Come on, folks.
Pearland, Woodland Springs,
yes,
Conroe, Willis, Huntsville, Galveston. Wherever you're at, if you're listening to Politics Done Right, if you appreciate what Egberto brings, because it's a lot more than just the hour that he's on air. It's hours preparation beforehand, and I know firsthand from being a programmer myself, there's a lot of preparation done. And if you appreciate that, Egberto comes in, just of his own time to share these viewpoints, because let's face it, there's not a lot of places where you're allowed to. Nobody will give airtime to just a regular person, the worker, the common man. And if you appreciate that, give us a call, 713-526-5738.
Nabu, I always tell folks this is their show, and I mean that. And when I say I want your contributions. I want your contributions, because here's the deal, folks, and that's the reason I always talk about this. We're not taking stuff from Exxon and all that kind of stuff. Not to say anybody's bad for doing that, but if you're taking things from those kind of folk, it means that you are sometimes you self-protect against something that they are doing because they're there. But you know what? That applies to you too. If we are getting from you, it means that we have to do things that keep you abreast of what's occurring in the body politic. 713-526-5738. Our loyalty is to you. That is where our loyalty lies, to you. But we have to have your support, else we can't continue. Like I said in the blog of the week, there are the other side have a way of feeling that they must give because it is existential. It is existential to them. If we don't give, those damn liberals are going to come and kill us. But you know what? The real truth is there's nobody going to kill them. But there are people killing all of us. And when I talk about all of us, I'm not even going to distinguish it from liberals or conservatives. I'm talking about all of us. So conservatives, if you're listening to Politics Done right now, I want your money too. I want you to call and give a contribution, because we are in this show, we are also fighting for you. It's not just about fighting for the liberal cause. No, because the liberal cause includes you. We want to make sure that the policies that are out there means that your kid can go to school without going into debt permanently. We want to make sure that when you get old, you are not going to die poor.
That's right.
We want to make sure that when you get sick, you can go to the hospital and not be turned away. That is something for everybody. That's all we believe in. Okay? So don't be fooled by the externalities, folks. Don't be fooled by the externalities. Get the reality, and that's what we bring. Okay? That is what we bring. 713-526-5738. Please tell me the phones are ringing.
They are ringing.
Yes, we got two on the line right now. We just heard from from Linda
Thank you, Linda.
in Belton, Texas.
Oh, thank you so
thank you.
kindly, Linda.
And, you know, it's kind of funny. We've got Pearland, Sugarland, Brooklyn, New York, Chapin, South Carolina, Belton, Texas. We don't have anybody from Houston who's donated
Oh
yet.
my God, Houston, where are you?
713-526-5738.
We need Houston. We need Kingwood. We need the Woodlands. We need we have Pearland. We need Pasadena.
Third Ward, fourth
Third
Ward,
Ward,
fifth
Fourth Ward, Fifth Ward. Where are you? Yeah,
And
Miss
by the way,
Lapi.
Linda from Belton is a new member.
Thank you, Linda.
And welcome to the family.
Welcome to the family, Linda. And I tell you what, any of you guys, if you're around 419, I just got a
Lovett Boulevard.
Lovett Boulevard.
Houston,
Come
Texas,
by.
77006. Yeah, we'll give you a grand tour. You know, this place has been bombed by the Ku Klux Klan.
Yes.
This place has been shot at. You know, there's all sorts of folks who want to stop what's being said on the airwaves here. And, you know, I think you brought it up earlier that you brought two conservatives here.
Yes, I did.
And you were able to have a discussion with them. You weren't trying to do, you know, reality television. You were doing, we have a bingo out there. Thank you for that.
All
Thank you so
phones are-
kindly.
Thank you.
All the phones are taken
You
right
know,
now.
but you know,
We still have one open.
you brought an interesting point is that you weren't trying to
Change them.
change them. You weren't trying to convert them. You weren't even being confrontational
No.
with them. You were actually having a discussion. And you know, that is a dying art in journalism today. And if you agree with Politics Done Right, if you agree with Egberto Willies, give us a call, 713-526-5738.
Let me tell you something, Nabu. The way you make change isn't just going crazy. The way you make change is looking through the eyes of others. And that's what I've learned as I've become older. I look through the eyes of others. People are not bad people.
Right.
You know, I don't look at Republicans as being bad. I
Sure.
look at their leadership
Okay.
as being bad
Right.
because they know better.
Right.
But the average Republican, they're my friends. They're the people I break
Right,
bread
right,
with and
absolutely.
have coffee with in
Absolutely.
Starbucks. I love these people. But I do know that the plutocracy has screwed with us all, including them.
Oh, at 100%.
You know, I know that, so I don't then blame them. I try to look things through their eyes, and I ask them to try to look through my eyes. And when we do that, there are a lot of times that we come to, oh my God, I didn't think about that. 713-526-5738, 713-526-5738. Folks, we need you to call.
We got about 7 minutes to go.
Yes, we
and,
need you.
Then Border Radio's coming on with the lovely Susan. But hey, give us a call right now. Again, you know, this is one of the few places where the common man can come in and have a show without having to pay thousands upon thousands of dollars. And then, you know, he probably would be given a script of what he needs to report. And, you know, this is one of the few places where you get unbiased news, unbiased talk, and it's real conversations with real people.
Absolutely so, Nabu. So, folks, let's get those newcomers in as well. I want the old timers, but we need new people as well. You know, we need to grow the family. You know what I've been saying, Nabu? We have to make sure to keep growing so that the message, you know what you call geometric progression. What you want is you want to get two people that are going to bring two people that each bring two. You explode rapidly, and then you can get your message across, right? You can start saying, okay, we all are working together to get what we need done. Folks, 713, we need you. 713-526-5738.
We want to thank Christian up in Kingwood,
Thank you, Christian.
a brand new member of KPFT.
Thank you so kindly.
We want to thank Mike up in Conroe.
Thank you, Mike.
The Burbs are
Coming
kicking
out.
Houston's butt here now. So keep calling in, folks. We want to hear from somebody from around the little.
Okay,
town
folks,
called
are
Houston.
any phones open?
I got 3 open.
Folks,
great.
we need your calls, folks. 713.
I'll run out there and take a pledge if I have
Yes,
to.
713-526. We only have a few more minutes, folks.
That's right.
Let's get to the quota. We need to get to the quota. You know why we need that? If we don't get there, we won't get the supplemental additions to that money that we said that was offered to us. 713-526-573. You've been listening to us for a long time. You haven't given. It doesn't cost you much to give. And you know what? You go ahead, you go to Starbucks, you go to all these coffee shops every so often, you go to these other places and you drop a few bucks. You go to your cable news. You pay these guys hundreds of dollars a year to misinform you. Could you give us a few dollars a month to tell you the truth? You know, I mean, think about that. You are willing to give several $100s in cable bills a year to get misinformation and some entertainment. We are willing to give you entertainment and the truth.
713-526-5738. 713-JAM KPFT. Give us a call right now. I know I appreciate Politics Done Right. One of the reasons I really appreciate this show is because you do not have to be, into politics to get the message. You don't have to be of a certain social standing or a certain class to talk about politics. This is one of the shows that stresses the importance of politics is for everybody. And you yourself, you're a software developer and businessman. So it's not that you come from this background where you're reading off of an Associated Press rag.
No,
you literally find your own news sources and you report what is important to you. And I appreciate that because there's no corporate interest behind you. It's coming uncensored. It's coming directly from you. If you guys appreciate that out there, give us a call, 713-526-5738. We got some phones open, and we want to take your call.
Folks, please, we only have 3 minutes. 713-526-5738. You can do it. You can bring us over the top. 713-526-5738. Houston, we need to hear from you, Houston. Houston proper, 713-526-5738. Are you in your car? Call, even if you can't reach your credit card right now, call and leave your telephone number.
Maybe you're working the night shift.
Absolutely.
www.kpft.org. You can go on there and make a pledge of donation. Or if you're in the area, the heart of Montrose, we're right over here off of Lovett Boulevard, 419 Lovett Boulevard, and you will see the funky house with graffiti on the side that says vote, because, hey, we're about politics over here.
Absolutely.
And politics done right. And if you're about politics done right, 713-526-5738.
We got 2 minutes, folks. 713. I know you can help me come over the top, so call now. Please call now. You can do it. Don't wait for the other person. We need it to be you. I mean, don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. Call us now. Did you have something, Stu?
I have Joni from up in Conroe,
Joni.
first brand new member.
Thank you,
wow.
Joni.
Thank you.
I've got Patton out in Tomball.
Thank
Very
you,
generous
Patton.
Pledge. Very generous pledge. Wants to shout out to his brothers, and he has a brother challenge going on.
What's a brother challenge?
You tell me.
Okay,
I guess
brother.
He's got a brother that wants to give out $120.
I think he's challenging all his brothers out there.
Come on, folks. Let's go ahead and do it.
And he picked up a copy of your book.
Thank you so kindly.
Want to thank Oscar from here in Houston.
Thank you, Oscar. We got Houston.
We
Nice,
did. We
nice.
did. We got a Houston. There you go. Thank you, Oscar.
Now 713-526-5738. Come on, folks. Let's close this stuff with a bang. Let's get every single phone running
Got
now.
about 2 minutes.
713-526-5738. Come on, every phone. Come on, folks. It's you. Don't wait for that other person. It has to be you.
That's right.
It has to be you. You can't sit down there and say, oh, it's the other person going to do it. Remember, we need at least 6 new members. We don't have the 6 yet. We need it to be a new member.
We're living
we need others. Come on.
in an age where journalism is dying.
Yes.
Where conversation is dying.
Yes.
And it's all confrontation. If you don't agree with that, if you're tired of that, that's the reason why you decided to go on the left end of your dial, then give us a call. 713-526-5738. 713.
Phones available? Or
there is one phone available.
come on, folks. We can
I'll
do
go
it.
out there and answer it if I have to.
Come on, folks. We can do it. Give me that call. 713-526-5738. I tell you what, and if it rolls over, I'll go in there and answer the phone. 713-526-5738. Come
then
on.
we go to Border Radio with Susan Darrow. Hey, listen, I'm telling you, it's such an honor for me to be on Politics Done Right. This is one of my favorite shows. And again, I love a lot of the news that's on KPFT. If you support that, give us a call right now.
And I've got to give a shout out to Generation Radio, which is what Naboo's show right there, because I tell you what, that's the show I love. Eclectic music, my friends.
Appreciate it.
713-526-5738. We need you, folks. Come on, you got 30 seconds. 713-526-5738. Let's go ahead and do it. We can bring this baby over. Come on, new callers. Give me a call now. 713-526-5738. People on the phone right now? Yes?
Stu's got it.
I'm looking. No, but I just got in 2 new pledges. I want to thank Chris from Missouri City.
Thank you, Chris.
And looks like I think I've already thanked Ferry, but thank you again, Ferry. That's awesome.
Thanks,
okay,
Stu.
folks,
Looks like we got to wrap up.
We got to run. Sorry, guys, but, we'll go in there and talk to you. This is Politics Done Right. I'm Egberto Willies. Adios.
Thank you very much for listening to Politics Done Right. I am your host, Egberto Williams. You can personally reach me by sending an email to egberto@politicsdoneright.com. Remember, Egberto is spelled EGBERTO. Change starts with you. 90.1 KPFT gives you information not tainted by corporate interest. Please visit kpft.org and contribute. Let's ensure continued access to real information and news remain available to all. Again, thank you very much for listening to Politics Done Right.